Hey everybody, welcome back to Ready Steady Play. We've just finished playing The Godfather, and now we're just going to present some of our final thoughts on it.
Mike won. For the love of God, can he stop winning?
One day I will beat him.
One day. One day, he will not be able to smile that annoying grin. The one who, even now, when he's trying to pull another face, he's still grinning inside. I can see it. There it is. It was barely skin deep. Barely hidden.
I bet Third World War starts from the day I win. We're like, yeah! And it won't even make Phil.
I have conflicting emotions because I like to see Mike not win, but I also like to live.
If you'd like to see Mike not win, watch Ethnos. Mike Smith won Ethnos. I think I lost Ethnos pretty hard.
Why do you think the viewing figures are so high? Repeat.
It's just Ollie watching it over and over again.
You didn't win Raise Your Goblet either, did you?
No, I super didn't win that.
No, that was fun.
For final thoughts, we need to talk about this. Not
Oh,
this.
yes! Right, yes, The Godfather.
I was reminiscing.
So did you guys enjoy the game?
Yes.
Actually,
Good.
yes.
Undoubtedly.
A lot more than I thought I was going to.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly thought when we started that it was going to be quite slow and sluggish and a lot more ganging up on each other.
I have to agree. Because when Mike showed me the picture that we would be playing this, I was actually going to be bringing another game. I'm not going to mention what that was. But when I saw that I just put the game box down. I went, oh, this is going to be one of these long where you have to work out money and a bit like Risk.
Yeah.
Sort of thing.
Yeah, and to be honest, I hate Risk because every time I've ever played it, there's been two people that's like, we'll secretly have an alliance. Right. Wipe a player off the board. And it's those kind of games I find less fun. This one, because you get your stuff back at the end of every round, even if you get wiped out, you can still you can still play more.
Yeah.
And that's the thing I really like about it, because you start off with three people. We had a lot of guns and deaths and drive-bys and everything. If you didn't get those people back, like turn one, I don't think I would have been able to play turn two. I'd have been out.
Yeah, I think you would. I think by turn one, I only had about one person killed.
Yeah, I think.
But it gives you a nice sort of middle ground between sort of vying for territory control by removing other people's figures, and it fits in with the theme of being mobsters and everything. Yeah. But also, because you get them back at the end of every act, and there's 4 acts, you don't feel bad. Like, you're not like, well, I'm out now, At lost all my shit, I might as well not bother.
Yeah, it would be a very different game if you could be like, right, we're starting with 5 people, and at the end of turn 1, not even the end, at the end of the second part of turn 1, 2 of the players are out of the game.
Mm-hmm.
That would be terrible. And I like that they've worked the mechanics so that you do get people back and that you get more people as you play.
Yeah. I
mean, unlocking an extra person on round 2, you suddenly realise I have a lot more control of what I do. And it's very useful. Very fun to do.
Yeah. The escalation of the characters is really nice, and giving you more buildings as well. And I think, it just sort of... it scales. I mean, I've played it with 2 players, and I've played it with more players, and I think I've only played it twice, actually.
So I've played it with 2, and I've played it with more than 2.
I played it with 3, just now. I think it'd probably be, because it's like action. Yeah. I mean, even with 5 players, like, I was never getting bored. There's not a lot of downtime.
No.
And it's interesting to see what people are doing and how the board sort of changes as well. There's not a lot of table talk, sort of table politics.
Well, there's a little bit of do X, do Y.
There's a little bit of that, yeah.
But not, compared to what it could be.
Well, I like playing games mostly with dice. I'd be first to admit. This is probably the first game that's had a mechanic that hasn't involved dice. Don't get me wrong, cards have like
a randomness
to them.
Yeah.
But how many times have you played a game where you've rolled 2 1s in a row or 3 1s in a row?
Please, can I not answer that question because the answer is depressing.
Yeah. But so this is the first one where I felt like the game still flowed really quickly without dice, or it wasn't the whole kind of okay, I've got this card means I can cancel out all of this. It just was like, okay, this person's here, that one's there. Okay, they cancel out each other. That was it, really.
Actually, there's a point as well. There's there's no mechanic in this to stop someone else doing something. All you can try to do is lessen the impact.
The closest thing you can come... Yeah, there's no gotcha mechanics.
No.
Yeah.
So there's no, like, I'm playing card bomb and someone goes, nope, yeah, gotcha, you're out, or whatever. I mean, there is...
Police car turns up.
Yeah.
There is, I mean, because the thing is, like, you can see people are taking guns or going to the gun store. So you can kind of gauge what they've got in their hands. If someone buys the policeman, you know they've got the policeman. And, you can deny people stuff. Like, if I know you're trying to get guns, I can go to the gun store first if I have the first player token, but I can get that too. So it gives you this whole range of sort of options and things to do. And like even when you were searching for the gun cards at the end of our game, like if you were really on top of things, you would figure out that there were fewer gun cards in the deck. I mean, there's fewer cards of everything, so it's going to scale. But if they're roughly equal, we played a lot of guns.
Yeah.
And that's probably because guns were the most widely available resource on the board.
Yeah.
And because you had monopolized the alcohol as well, those cards were almost not coming out. And I was noticing at the end there were a lot of yellow cards.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing that was quite interesting there is where, after turn 1, control of certain territories is set up, you could still work around it by using your family instead, which I like because it means that you had the bonus of Wall Street, basically all the missions. Matt had the bonus of Midtown, but we were vying over Brooklyn. Mm-hmm. And we were just using our family to get around each other's advantage. But every so often, you just had to go, oh crap, I've got to do this anyway. And plug a thug down. Yeah.
Well, sometimes I'll do the thug first. Like territory someone didn't have. So like, if I had 2 like cards that I didn't really want, I'd go off and get the 5. And then I know I'd be putting a family member either like here or somewhere around there. I mean, and you're putting that 5 away. Yeah. Maybe that was a mistake I made in the game. I was too concentrated to put these higher notes in where I wasn't paying attention more to try and
what was on the board.
Yeah. But I was going to say, because I think this came up in sort of our discussion at the end of the finale, which is that it still feels like everything's worth doing.
Yes.
Yeah. There's nothing you can kind of like sort of let slide or go, well, I'm not in that anymore, so I'm just going to focus on these other things. Because putting money in the suitcase is really important. And at the end, I mean, the jobs, to be fair, the thing that seems least impacting at the end is who won the jobs, the 4 job things. But then playing the jobs during the course of the game is so important. I'll tell you what, that was the one thing that kind of I didn't feel like influenced me as much as I thought it would. I tended to play the jobs to affect the board state and affect the money I had in my hand or putting money in the suitcase. I didn't think much about whether or not
you wanted to stack the multiplier.
Yeah, stack them to get them at the end. Yeah. Because I'd lost track of what you guys had played. I couldn't see them anyway because you'd had them all in your suitcases. So I couldn't say, well, I need to play another one of these yellow cards. I mean, maybe someone who has a very good memory could play that game. Yeah. But not me. I completely lost track of those numbers.
I mean, it's a nice mechanic to add in because it means if you have been focusing a lot, you do get a reward for it. But compared to what you get for controlling territory, it's almost nothing.
I think, because I was, going back to the jobs for a minute, I had quite a bit of the grey cards already in my pot at the beginning. Yeah. And all that does give me 5 at the end. But even I was still once I was thinking, I'd really like a drive-by shooting when I got this. And then, but I've probably already done them. Yeah. But then that's also the disadvantage in a way of playing it the first time. You just don't know what's coming in.
Yeah, I mean...
But that's a good thing as well.
The thing I did find funny is a bit where I showed to the camera, like, oh, you guys look away. These are I've just done 4 jobs. These are the ones I've got. I've got 3 identical ones and 1 different. And given when I did it, I should have pretty much expected that to happen because... But at the time, I just thought, oh, terrible shuffle, Mike.
You said, you did.
Yeah, but you might have, but you never know. You might have gotten lucky and drawn the card because I went next and drew it.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, there was no way round doing that. It was just...
Yeah, but you do have to weight, like, the risks.
Yeah, exactly. And in my head, I had no idea how many cards there were, so the reward was always going to be there. The risk was, I don't get to use my cards.
But it feels really good, like the game rewards you for clever play and sort of keeping track of things and sort of playing things at the right time is hugely important in the order in which you do things.
Yeah, I mean, I like to think if I'd have got that car bomb, I could have stopped you from just going yoink, 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 yoink.
Yeah, you could easily have screwed up my territory plans.
I wouldn't have done it to the extent that I mean, you probably would have still have won on territory alone, but I could at least have held on to a couple, like the two that I'd actually managed to get the whole game.
Queens and Upper West Side.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, actually, and it's funny, because you were talking about how I'd gotten Wall Street and then kept it. And, I did that by capturing it in the first round and then constantly putting the mayor down. But if you remember, I put the very first thing I did was put my family member on the top of Wall Street because the two cards I started the game with were both shakedowns.
Yeah.
I had 2 shakedowns and they're so expensive. And I was like, well, I want to get some cheaper jobs so I can actually do some jobs.
Yeah.
And so that's why and when that card came out and had jobs on it, I immediately went in there.
Yeah, I do think, I mean, a couple of times I did try to take Wall Street away from you and you just went, no, I'm going to stop you. And because you have the advantage of, I already control the territory.
Yeah.
I mean, a little bit of me thinks even where I was doing intimidation and trying to figure out which one, I was really thinking, where am I going to get the most benefit from this? And having that earlier would have been, well, I can have a lot more choice.
Yeah.
But depending on when you play a card like that, I mean, effectively, when I played it, it was just, I'm going to take control of a territory. I get no other use out of it. Which is not a bad thing, but it adds a lot more strategy to play the cards at the right time for the right benefit. You will always get a benefit from it, because they all, at the very least, do an effect and give you money. But you're also thinking about the next turn from the person after you and the person after that, and how long will you have the territory for?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
We managed to circumvent the control a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was interesting.
What did you guys think about the first player token?
I like the fact it's the horse's head, which is an important part of the actual movie.
Yeah. Spoilers!
Yeah, well.
No horses were harmed in the production of this game.
When did The Godfather come out?
70s, wasn't it?
Yes. Look on the box! Look on the box!
Not this
I
game.
don't think this one's
But
how about you guys talk and I'll find out?
Oh no, I was just
And
thinking,
suddenly a
when
distraction.
does the spoilers thing expire?
I do believe the spoilers thing expires when the last comment is ever made on YouTube.
Well, that will never expire.
I do believe that's the same time as hell freezing over and the sun exploding and quite possibly the human race ending. But even so, there's a few people I would think they would still get that last comment in just as humanity snuffed it.
What did you want to say about the first player token?
Well, I was just curious because the one
72.
The one time I had it, it was taken away from me before I actually got any use out of it. So I didn't actually ever get to go first.
Yeah.
So I know you two want it, and on paper it seems quite powerful because first player token settles ties, first player token on bids, first player token, you just get to go first. But where we were saying with Matthew, that last turn, going first probably worked against you.
Yeah, but my mistake was I really thought someone else was going to go for the
studio head.
Yeah, so I just went for it.
Yeah,
and I went in, and that's why I wanted the head. That's why I kept my guy.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I was banking on you thinking that because that guy could not have been more useless to me. I mean, I'd have probably settled more for the hired thug at that point. You get him $2.
Because I just was like, yeah, because you only had one territory at that point, which is the one up there. By that, I had Queens.
You had 3.
I had
you
3.
had Queens, Midtown, and Queens, Midtown, and
the first player token was a sort of an interesting thing because what it really the fact that it breaks ties and allies is huge and not to be sort of underestimated.
Yeah.
That's what's because going first is both a double-edged sword. If you have a lot of actions available to you, like allies and jobs to do, then going first is largely mitigated.
Yeah.
Because you can just do something like put down the mayor or, do a job.
Having the mayor on, like, you've got first turn is just, right, that's, because you can't...
I paid 6 for him.
No, but even then, when we put them in, like, central locations, because the only way to move them is with a specific job. That is move a model. And even then...
That's, a specific ally card.
Yeah.
He was amazingly useful. But I knew he would be, because if I got him on the first round, I'd get to use him 3 times, and I could use him to block or hold territory. So that's why when you took the first player token from me in the first round, I doubled down and put 6 in. Well, I was going to put in 3, because I figured people probably won't go above 3 and they'll win the tie, but then Matthew took the token.
Yeah, I actually had a 3, didn't I?
I mean, the funny thing was, I knew you were going to go for it then, because I knew you had 6 in your suitcase, I had 5, and Matthew had 3 at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, I can't beat you at a straight bid. The only thing I can hope to do is beat Matthew. And he's got the first player token, so I can't beat him, because the most I can do is put 5 in for a suboptimal move, because he might not have bid at all. So I just went, right, I'm not having it.
Yeah, because you didn't want the hired gun. Yeah,
just didn't bother.
I managed to get the Union though, didn't I?
Yeah, you got we didn't have the hired gun come out. It was the Union and the
hired gun came out in the practice game.
Yeah.
Oh right, yes.
Yeah. But it was just it was at one of those points where I realised it's not even worth me even taking part in the bid. But that's a decision I got to make.
Saying that, I do think the mail was actually more useful than the Union.
Yeah.
But I thought the Union was very useful anyway.
Union level 2 was really good because you can shake down the same place twice.
Yeah.
I mean, when I got that on the when I got that and he was there, the only thing about it that annoyed me on the munitions place, the only thing that annoyed me was it says move him to an empty square. So he's already on somewhere. You're like, I want him to be where he is.
Yeah, that was really funny when that happened.
Yeah, but I mean, what can you do?
It didn't occur to me.
Yeah, but it's funny because for such an innocent and innocuous line, move to an unoccupied space, it only will ever come up if more than one of you has the same card to use on the same turn. Otherwise, it's never going to matter.
I have to say, I do like this. How much did you pay for this, Mike?
This retails at something like £65.
Right. When you said it to me and I looked at the quality of the stuff, I thought that seemed alright. But after playing it and how quick it is, I think it's more like because of how good, I love these tins, I would have said it's more a little bit lower, but then saying that
more people goes on longer.
Yeah.
And there is, I mean, the thing is, it's sort of like, I described it as a gateway +1 game. It's like, it's a gateway game, but it's got a little bit more complexity than maybe your standard one, like Ticket to Ride or Ethnos or Catan or something. And it's got, which gives it a lot more depth.
Yeah.
It actually has, I think, a lot more depth for its complexity or like the level of sort of mechanics and things going on. There's not a lot really to grasp, but it feels like there's a lot of really interesting decisions to make.
It's very well done. I was really, really taken back by how much I enjoyed it.
Imagine how much more you'd enjoy it if Mike painted the models.
I really want to paint that.
I can't say nothing because if anyone is actually from my channel who's watching this would actually comment if I did. Comment on this.
I don't have my own channel, so I get to comment freely.
The internet would grief you about not painting your models.
To be fair, you do unboxing. That's
I
hardly
do.
fair.
So
here's a brand new box.
Yeah, you have to take them out and paint them, put them back.
You have to be painting them in fast forward
on sprue still.
People do make videos like that.
They do actually, yes. And they do quite well.
But I do have a few criticisms. But I will tell you, I will preface it by saying I'm not sad I own this. In fact, I feel like this replaces a few games in my collection, and I'm glad to have it and that it does.
For me, if I owned this would be the game that I think I could even get one or two of my friends who aren't normally board gamers.
Yeah, this is a game you could get non-board gamers to play.
Well, and that's exactly right. That's, I think, it's almost its strongest thing is that I could get, people who are not super into board games to play it, but I would still really enjoy it. There's a lot of gateway type games that I'm very bored of now because I've played them a lot.
Yeah.
And they're not that deep.
They don't have staying power.
Yeah, exactly. But this, I feel like it's got a good level of replayability. It's got a good level of depth, and it's not so long. The thing is, even with the three of us playing this on the channel, it's still shorter than some Settlers of Catan games I've played.
I was actually saying, mechanic-wise, I think this is one of the better ones I've played on the channel.
One of the games. Well, it's one of the. It's one of when it comes to rules, because we tend to play quite complex ones. You and I. This has the rules in this are very tight.
Yeah.
It's not a super complex game. It's not got a huge amount of stuff going on. But again, what it does do is it takes all these, it does like sort of 3 or 4 things really, really well, and then plays them off each other to make the decisions really interesting and deep.
Yeah. Actually, going on from that, one of the things I would say is very much in its favour. How many times did we have to do a rules check?
Not once. This is the first game, actually, I think we've never done.
Yeah. So we've Matt and I sat down today. We've watched Mike put the board game out. We did a couple of practice rounds, and then we just jumped straight into it. And not once have we had to consult a rulebook.
Well, unless we made a mistake.
No, but yeah, I mean,
then we're consistent.
Yeah, but even then, the only question I can even remember coming up was my one of this thing that lets me return a guy. That's not for back in the river, and I didn't think it was going to be. It was just that would have been really surprising.
Yeah, to be fair, I don't actually know that that's not how it works.
It makes sense that it's not. It was just that's the only bit of uncertainty I felt playing this game from start to finish.
How many? So that costs 200 money. I feel like if you could take them out of the river, it should be more expensive.
Probably
because the 2-cost ones are not like super great. I mean, Drive-By is cool.
Yeah.
The other one is the yellow one.
Oh yeah, and you can
that lets you put 3 money in the suitcase.
Yeah, and for its effect, it's still very good.
There is one where you just kill a thug as well.
Yeah,
which is a great one, which I did.
Yeah, the take the cannoli. Yeah. That's the one-shot gun one. But so I think to talk very quickly about the game, the mobster theme, very well realized, really comes out.
Yeah.
I'll let you say, sorry.
But the Godfather, no. It feels like a gangster game. It doesn't feel like the Godfather.
Well, one of the things I kind of like, though, and I was going to say, because it is they do the acts from the movie.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
All right. And you got the wedding, the great opening.
Yeah.
Then you've got, like, I don't remember the Turk bit, if I'm honest, but I do remember Sonny's murder. And when his son was killed, he is distraught, he's upset.
Yeah.
And then you got the betrayal sort of at the end. So it's got the axe down.
Yeah.
Yeah, but nothing that happens in any of the phases actually reflects which part of the movie we're in.
But that's actually a good thing, because it means that you're not on the assumption that someone's never seen The Godfather. Nothing is spoiled from this. You've managed to set it in that world without spoiling anything, and you could just turn to someone and say, well, this is based on a movie.
The horse head, maybe. I mean, that's a pretty big reveal.
Well, no, because the horse head would just be, it's a horse head. It's a gangster thing. It's a mafia thing.
It's not really, though. It's just unique to that film.
I know, but it's one of those things that it became a reference for other things. And even then, you could just say, if you want to find out what the horse head's about, watch the movie.
Yeah.
But then again, when you're talking about like one city with this like massive mafia sort of family, and we're just playing in that one sort of city. Yeah, it was based in New York, wasn't it? Actually, the movie one.
Yeah,
I mean, an idiot.
But what I mean is, like, I don't know how you would make this style of gameplay of sort of territory control and sort of different sort of action selection and stuff like that. I don't know how you would make that feel more like the movie The Godfather.
You would have to include bits of the plot.
That's what I mean. There'd have to be some narrative stuff and things like that. Like, in Act 1, the wedding, maybe, there's a rules change. Like, if you initiate a trade with another player, they can't say no.
Yeah,
maybe something like that, right?
The thing is, like,
but there's no trading in this.
No, but that would be a good potential expansion point for them, is to add narrative cards that do, like, this is the base game, and then these are some narrative cards
but
that add some things to do. And you've got a deck for that one, a deck for that one, a deck for that one, a deck for that one. There doesn't have to be very many of them to be used in the game, and it could literally be at the start at the wedding, you've got one card that if you're dealt it story wise, it's the Don's wedding asking for a favour.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's something that that bothers me about the game.
No,
I mean, it's sort of lack of Godfather actually doesn't ruin it for me at all.
No, but it's a thing they could.
But I feel like some people might pick it up and be like, "I love The Godfather. I'm going to get the board game." And then they're like,
"Yeah," but then you get that with a lot of movie tie-in anything. Yeah. Like any game that's tied into a movie will have that problem.
I agree with what you're sort of saying there, Mike, about the board game. I think the name will help sell it straight away.
Yeah.
The Godfather. That's why they've got the right for it and stuff like that. Did I feel like it? I didn't think it was like a problem at all. I just felt like I'm playing a family.
But I mean, that's the thing. Like, for us as sort of gamer types, the the game is really, really good, so you just kind of forget about it.
Yeah, you forget it's actually the Godfather.
We are a smaller family.
Yeah.
We're the small, because like, we're trying to take the territories. At the end, we were still giving money to
The Godfather.
the Godfather.
Yeah.
Even though we were having these things, we were killing each other.
Yeah.
It's not no blood on his hands.
Yeah.
We're passing the blood money over.
Yeah.
But
I mean, the thing is, you're right. Like the bit about it being the Godfather, this could just be called Mafia,
yeah, could be.
and it would be the exact same game. But it's nice to have the tie-ins. Like if you know the movie very well, the locations might cause a twig. The jobs specifically reference lines in the film, like "Take the cannoli."
Yeah,
that's part of the movie. So if you are a fan, you'll get that. Whereas if you've not seen the movie before, you're just like, "Take the cannoli." Why does this mean someone dies?
yeah. But I again.
So, but I mean, what I mean is, for someone who is maybe much more excited for a Godfather type game, it might have.
If someone's looking for something more complicated,
I'd say
No, I just meant something more sort of.
I'd say your mileage might vary.
Yeah, I would say again, like for me, not a problem, but maybe for someone else, maybe.
Still worth playing.
Oh yeah, no doubt about that. I just wanted to highlight a few criticisms. The other one is the art of the city on this board. Kind of inconsistent. I think it's not great. Just like if you sort of like, there's Empire State Building, that's really clear, and then what is going on here? This is just, it looks like a bunch of abstract squares.
Ironically, that might be deliberate on their part, because if you like an iconic building like the Empire State is very easy public realm, whereas other stuff, the person who built that and designed it might actually go, well, you've got my building in your game, cough up. I know that sounds really silly, but in stuff like that, any excuse. But yeah, I see exactly what you mean. Like with Wall Street, that's iconic Wall Street. It's appeared in 1,000 movies. You get to hear
Brooklyn Bridge.
That's just
that area.
Yeah.
It's just, but it's also very sort of blocky and like sort of weirdly
unfinished,
indistinguishable. Yeah, and then it kind of looks very different to what's going on over here in Queens.
Was New York still in its transitional phase at this point? I don't know, because
they were still building skyscrapers.
Yeah, is this based in the 50s?
Jumps around. So
yeah, I'm trying to remember if it was earlier or...
No, the first one doesn't jump around. The second one jumps around.
Okay.
The second one is the rise of Don Corleone and Michael Corleone,
right,
in tandem. But the first one's just how Michael becomes the head.
But they would have still been building
skyscrapers. Spoilers.
Yeah.
You caught yourself.
Yeah, I did.
Otherwise, we'd have had to have muted you in post-production.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, editor, making more work for editor. I just thought, it's not that I have a big problem with the board. I just felt like the art could have been a bit more interesting, or I don't know, a bit more something.
I want to ask one question, because I haven't watched it. As I said, we saw it a little bit, but the family names that are here, are they mentioned in the actual?
Yeah, all of these families are in the movie. Like I think the wedding is the wedding of. The heirs from two of the families featured here. Also, the art, I don't know, like the art in the city, I just thought, I don't know how they would have made it better exactly, but even like Central Park is just kind of like indistinct and sort of...
You can see the cast from Friends hanging around a coffee shop.
And sort of on the topic of the artwork, something I thought was disappointing was that the art on all of the job cards is the same.
Yeah, that should have made it different.
You know, it's the same as the box art image. Like, it would have been nice if each of these cards had... Because the thing is, like we were saying before, the game is not super complex. It's not a super long game. So when you're paying £65 for it, it's because of the production value. And the minis, it is a cool mini or not game. The minis are great. You know,
they don't make it bad.
All the family members are different. The thugs are all the same, but you know,
they're thugs, they're mooks.
You can sort of pass that off, let that slide. But you know, if they're going to invest in like metal tins, which you know you easily could have done something else with that. You don't need the metal tins. You could have just stacked the cards up face down, you know, or something like that, or hidden them onto the board or something. Who knows? Or just hidden them in your lap. But this art. I mean, it's weird that they didn't do more art.
I agree. I think.
I mean, there's only about 7 or 8 different cards.
Well, I'm even just going more into the colour, even if it was just like the yellow ones had a different artwork. So what was the coloured ones for Intimidation, wasn't they? Or the
I think that was...
Well, there's 4 different colours.
Yeah.
So Intimidation was...
So you've got the blood money cards, you've got the alcohol cards, and you've got the gun cards, and then you've got Shakedown, which is the sort of all 3 card.
Yeah.
So maybe with the gun one, you could actually even have a picture of a drive-by, because that's one of the most common cards.
Yeah.
The muscle one, you could have had someone holding like a shot.
Yeah, like 2 guys holding a third guy, and one of them's grabbed his arm and the other one's punching him.
Or even something similar, but in the film.
Yeah. I mean,
there's a lot of shots in the film of people firing guns and walking around with Tommy guns and stuff like that. I mean, this is just Marlon Brando painted from the first scene in the movie. Yeah. So they could have just taken some other scenes and painted them. And actually, if you look in the rule book, this is kind of what bothered me a bit. There's a lot of artwork in the rule book. There's artwork of all the family members. There's artworks of some scenes from the film, stuff like that. There's one really cool piece of art, actually, and I can't even remember what scene it's from in the movie. This here on the bribery phase, some guy going into a cellar where someone's tied up, and that's really cool. That wasn't used, but it would have been nice, for more of that on these cards. I mean, the fact that all these cards feature just the cover of the board game was sort of I was sad about.
To be honest, I'm surprised, having just seen some of the artwork in there, that they have clearly gone to a lot of effort to get artwork done. And I think the reason that they picked Marlon Brando is he is the iconic image of the Godfather, because clues in the name. But I think maybe they were trying to get the most for having obtained the rights to his likeness. But yeah, I mean, they probably did want to, we want to get our money's worth out of it, because that would have been... I mean, how many other movie tie-in games have you played where they haven't actually bothered to secure the rights to any of the characters, so everyone doesn't look the same?
Yeah, just the name. Or they do.
I don't know, man. I think it's because... no, wait. This is a cool mini or not? Huh. Maybe they just didn't have the art team available or something.
Yeah, maybe.
It might have even been the people, the rights from... Thingy says, no, you're only allowed to do the artwork inside the rule book. You know how funny film companies can be.
Yeah.
Like imagery and stuff like that.
I mean, to be fair,
it's
not a complaint about the game in itself. So it's a fairly... This is more your...
Yeah, but art is very important to some people,
this person particularly.
No, I mean, it's, whether or not art is super important to me, and art for me is really about whether or not it breaks my immersion in the game. But I think, I think it's an important thing to highlight because, it's, for some people, it's a huge deal breaker.
Oh yeah, no, I get you. I get why it's sort of popped up on it.
And speaking of art, these item cards,
very basic.
I mean, if you look at the ally cards, the art is great and all different for each one of them.
Yeah.
They're all here, and each one has a unique piece of art, and it's highly detailed. I don't think they're characters from the movies.
No, but
maybe they are. I mean, they do go to Hollywood, don't they?
Yeah, isn't it the Hollywood
Schwartz
producer
or something? Schultz,
with a certain surprise.
Yeah, that might be. Yeah, Schultz, I think his name is, or something like that. So that might be him.
Wow, let me see this one.
Yeah. So you can actually go through the whole game, I think, especially in the 2-player version, without any of the neutral cards coming up. But that's what I mean. So you've got all of these. Oh, look, that looks like Tom Hagen. I don't think it is, but no, it's not. But anyway, the point is, they've done a great job on these. And then by contrast, the item cards just look terrible.
See, I wasn't as bothered by this as you because I like the simplicity of it because everything's got strings attached.
So it looks like it
is basically I'm manipulating you with this. That's blood money. It's obviously got strings attached. This is alcohol. We use it for bribery.
Well, it's a play on the famous puppet master,
which
icon
is
from the Godfather,
on the icon itself of the title. So I wasn't too annoyed by that.
Yeah, I mean that I'm more willing to let that slide. Although I thought even for the thing they were trying to grab, it was a bit like...
Oh yeah, I mean comparison between the two, it's a world of difference.
I'm going to bring up one thing though. At least with these cards and stuff like that, you can tell what they sort of are. When we had some problems, didn't we, when we played a different game, just because one symbol on the back of a card that was in the desert. You could tell the difference, and I don't want to name it because I slagged it off at the end of the last one. But
I mean, at least the iconography is all clear.
Yeah.
You understand what's going on, and the symbolism is consistent, and
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff. So there is that, and there's more. So, and I do think the money cards are great. I mean, they look great. The card stock is good. I mean, all the card stock is good. So the cards are high quality. But
actually saying that, I'm surprised that someone hasn't gone, where's your card protectors?
where are the card protectors?
I've had that one.
I tend to only sleeve it if I feel like
the house.
Well, no, I was going to say if it leaves the house and goes to the pub, it gets sleeved. But otherwise, it's only if there's going to be a lot of shuffling, like or the card stock is not very good quality.
Would you? Sorry to say, because of how much it's cost you, the board game itself. Would you want to take this down the pub?
No, I don't. I wouldn't take this one to the pub.
No,
it's too big for the pub.
Yeah,
It does require an entire table,
Yeah. The board is big.
which is not a complaint.
I like the big board. What was it? Ethnos, the other cool mini or not game. The board was way too small. But Ethnos could go to the pub. Even though there's a lot of cards actually, and moving around with the cards and that.
okay.
But the board is small enough.
Yeah.
Should we do a roundup?
Yeah, I think that's about it, really. Yeah, those are sort of my only real complaints, and they're definitely not deal breakers.
I have to say
The rule book is well done.
Yeah.
It's very straightforward and simple. It doesn't take long to learn. It looks long. That's just because they put a lot of sort of formatting into it, which is really nice. It's not actually that long.
No
it's 20
complaints
pages,
to
isn't it?
Yeah, but I mean, what I
27.
mean is there's not a lot of text and stuff like that. A lot of it's artwork and showing the contents of the game as well.
Yeah.
What were you going to say before I rudely interrupted?
So nice, right? I was just wondering what, because for a game like this, I think it's really good. Price bugs me a little.
Yeah.
I'm also going to say, sorry if we seem like we went on very long about, and they're only little things, guys. Like we went on for quite a while about a little bit of the artwork. That's not. It doesn't affect the actual gameplay itself, though.
Yeah.
So I feel like, in a way, as much as we've said these things, it's more like a little nitpick. But like when someone's got a scab and keeps picking at you.
Yeah.
It's like it's not a.
Well, I think it's because we've nitpicked on those bits, but the substance of the actual game itself,
It's really good.
yeah, we didn't have
It's
we didn't have a
really good
complaint
game.
at all.
Yeah.
So in terms of nitpicking as well,
Do you regret buying this in any way?
Absolutely not. I'm really. The thing is, it fills a very good hole in my collection as well. Like I said, it's actually as a result of getting this, I will be retiring a few other boxes.
Being honest, for me, the price, because of what's in it, I'm a little like, But then at the same time, I'm thinking I could probably get more people to play this than a lot of other games I've got.
Yeah.
A lot
Getting
of other
it
games.
to the table, getting a game to a table is huge. And actually, I mean, I think that's about what you prioritize as a gamer, really, because
the name helps that.
the name helps that, yeah. If you say to someone, let's play the Godfather, the game, they're all like, oh, that's great, I know what that's about.
yeah,
Whereas you're like, let's play Mage Knight, which is a game where we're wizards traveling across an ancient land.
you get a very specific crowd for that.
Yeah. Or Great Western Trail.
Yeah.
In this one, we're turn of the century cattle drivers.
Yeah,
But
tickets are right.
let's just say you take away the Godfather
Trains.
name for a minute, and you just say it was just called Mobsters.
Yeah.
So you turn around and you think, I've got this board game it's called Mobsters. Do you want to play? It's not going to get you as much as people playing as if someone came along and went, oh, I've got the Godfather board game.
Yeah, which in a way is a bit annoying because it's a very good game and it could stand on its own. But we are a very short attention span race, so we'll just be like, "Oh, movie tie-in! I know this." So I guess it helps a lot with that. But
yeah, I ain't got much else I want to say about this. What about you guys?
No.
Do you want to give it a score, or do you want to just leave it at that? I don't know.
I give it.
It's your format.
3 henchmen and 2 family members out of 5.
I give it 8 Tommy guns.
I actually give it a 9. Just because how pleasantly surprised I was about the game as well.
Oh yeah.
If I had to because as I said, when you showed me it, I was like, oh god, this is going to be risky. It's going to be, and I really thought it was going to be because I got Pacific time. I want to go home. I thought it's going to be really close to that if we're lucky, and it hasn't been any of what and I'm tired, guys. I'm not gonna lie. I'm actually really, really tired at this minute, and I'm happy to play this. I've not walked away going, "Oh, I'm tired." Oh.
Yeah, you're not got brain fatigue.
Yeah, I haven't got any of that sort of stuff. I'd give this a 9, but I would have given it a 10 if it wasn't £65.
Mm-hmm.
And the only reason, and again, my scoring goes on this, guys. This is a simple game that you can get other people that aren't board gamers in. That's straight away 1 or 2 extra points for me.
Yeah. The ability to get this to the table and teach it quickly and get people involved, and yet still have it be an interesting game with interesting decisions goes a long way.
I think this is comfort.
Speaking of a long way, our final thoughts have gone on a long time. So let's wrap it up there.
Yeah.
But thank you very much for watching and for sticking with us. And we will be back tomorrow for
something else.
A brand new adventure in some other distant land. So for now, we're going to leave the streets of New York. But who knows? Maybe we'll come back again to streets of New York for some other kind of adventure.
Maybe
expansion.
Maybe the Don will be overthrown.
Maybe.
The Godfather Part 2. Thanks for watching.
See you later. That wasn't too bad. It's 3. I mean,